Okay, first off, why is it labeled this as games and demos? Hang on, let me fix that up. Okay, that's better. Anyway, now I'm back with, and for those of you just tuning in, I finished Amelia's story on Saga Frontier Remastered, and now I'm going to begin playing the final game in the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, which is Trials and Tribulations. And I'm going to say right off the bat, I know nothing about this game. I'm going in completely not knowing anything. I don't know any spoilers. I don't know any of the answers to trials. I don't know the story. I know one of the new characters that will be introduced in this game, but I don't know anything about them. So absolutely no spoilers. And I will not ask for help on any of the cases unless I am absolutely stumped. So, in other words, for once, I will try to figure everything out on my own. But again, if I feel I do need help, if I am getting stuck on something, I will let you know. Thank you very much, Soup. But yeah, when I first started the stream, Twitch had this game categorized under games and demos. What was up with that? Anyway, let's begin the game. Trials and Tribulations. And as I said, this will be the final game in this trilogy. So, wish me luck. I mean, Soup already did, but... Episode 1, Turnabout Memories. Dang, I like this artwork on this one. This is nice. I love this artwork. That would make a good wallpaper for a phone or tablet. Anyway, let's begin. Play Turnabout Memories? Yes. How did I get into this mess? Okay, I have no idea who's talking. Why? Why did I do that? That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your own sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that! Oh. It wasn't me! I didn't do it! This is younger Phoenix, isn't it? 5 years earlier, Mia Fey, second trial. Oh, I see. April 11th, 9:40 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Yeah, I could tell he kind of looked a little more fresh-faced than he does in the present. Phew, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Ahem! Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning. Let's see if I remember the voice I gave him. Ah, Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know? What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed. Okay, this runs in the family, apparently. Let go of my lapels. Lapels, rather. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right. It's your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I'm Marvin Grossberg, I'm at your service.
Actually, this is my second time in court.
Still, you surprised me, well, with your earnest request last night. Let me handle this case, you certainly said, and quite forcefully, too.
I just found out yesterday. About the case, I mean.
What? And you've already learned all the relevant facts?
Well, about that, you see. I mean, of course I have, I think.
Oh dear. In any case, don't let a client see you so nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client. Good morning! Good morning there, everybody.
Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia.
I just want to say, I'll give it all I got. Yep, it'll be fine, no problem. Oh boy, is he in any shape to be here today?
Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Wright?
Actually, it's Wright. Like the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing much good, though. My doc says this way I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Yeah, if you can actually get to stay on.
Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you.
Please, let go of my shirt.
That's right, he's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. It's been 1 year since then, and, well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client, and for myself. April 11th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 2.
Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. I didn't think I was ever going to get to do this voice again. For better or worse, I don't know. Whether that's a good or a bad thing is up to you. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it?
Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem?
I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. That hairdo is amazing, I know, right?
Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency.
Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you?
Yes, well...
Oh, poor Mia. She really does look nervous. You're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this?
Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think.
Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please.
Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It will be all over soon.
What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me?
Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question.
So that's where Phoenix learned his death slams from. Yep, sounds about right.
The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology.
It sounds like he was a very bright young man.
Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body.
Sorry, I'm looking at the photo. I'm gonna have to look at it better when I don't have these text in front of it. Text boxes in front of it.
And the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. They then called the police.
That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo and the record as evidence. Crime photo 1. The crime took place behind an IVU building. Yeah, now let me see if I can take a better look at it. Interesting. Huh. Okay, moving on. Luna Faye, defense attorney. Pretty much. Okay. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death in this photo. Yeah, that is an issue.
Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor.
What? Sagacity? Someone want to tell me what that means?
The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death.
An unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne?
Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question.
Huh?
A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I'm a gentleman, if you will.
Oh, please. A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of. Oh, perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on. Please say you at least know this much. Sagacity equals lie, and Sage's like, okay. If he wants to butter the judge up like that, fine. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now stay here. The details of the case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you? Ah, the court record. I think I can see that by pressing the R1 button. The what? The what now? Okay, just kidding. Date and time of death, April 9th at 3 p.m. Cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Yeah, that right there kinda raises questions. Anyway, all the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the date of that, and think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. I just pressed the R1 button here. I already did that. Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the... sorry. Getting Grossberg's voice there. Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? I like how they manufacture new ways to explain the need for a tutorial. Yeah, that is pretty clever. Especially to give us a flashback this time. Okay, it was... yeah, sure, it was hypothermia in April. It was electrocution. According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution? But how could such a thing happen? Well, the photo shows how. Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps?
The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue.
What's that?
Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant.
Bad blood? What do you mean?
Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this.
I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. Yeah. That's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. Really? Because I remembered him being a pretty easy case in the first game. Oh well. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence. Pain and smooth, ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. Evidence? Oh, no need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all the weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and shove it into old Graybeard's face. Yes, sir. Into old Graybeard's face. Maybe just leave insulting the judge to your boss, Mia. Or Mr. Grossberg. Try to set a better example for the young lady. Mia, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well. You can toggle between profiles and evidence with the R1 button, so be sure to go over it all. Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix and Wright and the victim? Alright, let's take a look, guys. I have not looked at the profiles yet. Marvin Grossberg, age 61, my superior and the head of Grossberg Law Offices. Phoenix Wright, age 21, my client, a third-year art student at Ivy University. He currently has a cold. Is that gonna be important? The fact that he has a cold? Okay, we'll see. Anyway, Doug Swallow, age 22. Okay, I think I somewhat get the joke. Anyway, the victim, he was a fourth-year pharmacology student at Ivy University. Dahlia Hawthorne, age 20. Phoenix Wright's girlfriend, dated the victim, Doug Swallow, up until 8 months ago. Okay. Winston Payne, age 49, the prosecutor for this trial, a veteran lawyer with a little too much confidence. Fine. What's the cause of... Fine, I guess. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it?
Very good, Miss Faye. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story.
Oh, he's done it again. Before the crowd's examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness.
If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Wait, what? What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Faye? It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? Never would have figured Phoenix for the able to get a date type. Yeah, that's true. Although, in present day, he seems more like the too busy with my career to get a girl to get a date type. Or to want a date, I should say. The defense has no objection. Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Work calls. Good luck with the trial. Thanks.
Have a good night, and I should be back tomorrow night to continue this.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
So take care, and thanks for tuning in, Soup. See you tomorrow. Oh, yes, my name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. No, he means what did you do before you were arrested? Oh! Achoo! 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 I was a university student.
Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected of the death of your fellow student, Doug
Swap, but I didn't do it! I'm innocent, I tell you! I'm telling you I was! Achoo! Achoo! Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his call to the rest of us? Well, maybe we shouldn't have called him the witness stand if you were worried about that. He could get a girlfriend if he could just admit his true feelings for Maya. That's true. Oh, hey Reen, welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight?
It seems the witness has something he wants to say.
Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor! Still not sure calling a guy with a cold to the witness stand was a good idea, but whatever. The victim and I admit I was there. But I'm not a killer! All I did was find his body! I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British one-beat. What now? Phoenix, you're not helping your case. Oh boy. Let's see here. 4th year, 3rd year, art student, 4th year, pharmacology student. Yeah, they probably wouldn't have much reason to interact then at school then, would they? Because different years and different majors. I see. So you hardly knew the victim? Right, like I said, I'm not a killer. Phew, it looks like the judge understands. You're being naive, you know. Too naive. Huh?
It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady.
And that would be?
This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination.
Cross-examination? He's right, and it's a fancy duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if the witness' testimony contains any contradictions. Contradictions? If a witness is lying, the statements will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client. Even if he is your client in court, all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now? That there was a lie? Contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Faye. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Well... Okay, let's see here. See what we can do. I admit I was there. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened, anyway.
Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence.
Achoo! 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 Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident. No coincidence, huh? You say you found the body, so who called the police?
Huh? Achoo! Achoo! Achoo!
Unfortunately, it was some other students that notified the police.
Other students?
That's correct. They were witnesses. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body in shock.
What? Is this true, Mr. Wright? Achoo! 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 Achoo!
Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind?
Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body. But I hardly knew the guy to begin with.
So, you didn't know his face or even his name, right?
Right! Well, no. That is... I mean...
So, which is it? Did you know him or not?
Achoo! 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 Now, see here! You can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day. Well, I guess I did know his name.
News to me. Why didn't you tell me that before?
I heard he used to date Dolly. Who's this Dolly person?
Ah, yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, I see. Young love, so bittersweet. But that's all I knew about him! I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Gosh,
Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with.
That's right! I mean, why would I even...
But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe?
Achoo!
Well, Mr. Wright...
No, it wasn't me! I'm not a killer, I swear!
That's not what she's asking right now.
Oh boy. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt.
Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean?
Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true! Cross my heart! I swear, I didn't do it.
He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night.
May I ask you something, Miss Fay?
Yes, Your Honor. What is it now?
Who is this person anyway? This Union Jack fellow.
The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag.
Oh, I see. So you mean like the Stars and Stripes, right?
Right.
As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me.
Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now?
Mia, there is a contradiction here.
Mr. Grossberg.
Quickly now, show that boy you mean business. With evidence, I mean.
Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully.
Okay, hang on a minute. Well, madam, do you think you can manage on your own from this point?
Well, I'll see if I can handle it myself. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself.
You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia.
I'll be fine. I know what I have to do.
Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof.
Okay, Mia, one more time from the very beginning of his testimony.
Read that. I mean, press that.
Hardly knew this guy to begin with, underage.
There's always one.
see it at the crime scene. The Union Jack, I mean. Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true! Cross my heart! I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night. May I? Oh gosh, dang it. Okay, so I've really already Okay, so 3 p.m. IVU building. Oh, I see. You can't see it here. I think that's the point anyway. Yeah, I think I can. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Fay, is there some point to this line of questioning? Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute! He's wearing a leather jacket! The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You'd have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me! Oh, wow. Mia, you made a cry. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyway. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong.
That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime.
Uh-oh, did I go too far?
By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it?
Yeah, I took some, but...
Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X?
Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How'd you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X?
Will you happen to have that medicine with you right now?
Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. He lost it? Does this even have anything to do with the case?
Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now?
Huh?
Your Honor, I'd like you to take a look at another photo from the crime scene.
What's this? In the victim's hand. It's Cold Killer X! Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it.
What?
Seeing his sensitive murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright, and hid it in his hand.
What?
His purpose in doing so Can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, sure, that makes all the sense in the world. Order! Order in the court!
Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence.
Very well. The court will accept them into the record. Crime photo 2. The victim's watch stopped at the time of death. Did it now? Cold Killer X found clutched in the victim's hand, covered in Wright's fingerprints.
Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken.
Broken?
Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this?
Ugh. This is really bad. Oh my buttocks, and my poor hemorrhoids. Can we talk about that later? What really happened? Okay, before I go into this, let me check out this other. So about 9. His watch stopped at 9, or a little after. Oh wait, no, 3. Gosh, it's confusing seeing it upside down. But no, he stopped at 3. A little after 3 o'clock. Let's see here. Time of death at 3 o'clock on 4/9. Okay, so that matches up. Well, let's see. At 3 p.m., cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Okay, we'll worry about that later. The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so he agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 o'clock we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost him a bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously. Achoo! 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 I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth.
You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible.
Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination.
Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies.
What really happened? Truth is, I went because he called me.
Had you ever met the victim before then?
No, never! But that day, he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. And this Dolly person would be... We've already been over this! It's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart. Aww. Oomph! What? What was that for, Mia?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden.
Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is.
So it was one of those nasty love triangles. I see. I guess. He was in the pharmacology department, so he agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building.
Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45?
Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist, I see. I gotta admit, it was a bit suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. Oh, how fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man.
What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details?
Might as well.
So you're absolutely certain that you met at 2:45? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much.
Experiments?
Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something.
Well, it looks like he's right about the time anyway.
Witness, let's go on with your testimony.
Actually, you want to press this last statement again. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department.
Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much though.
A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high voltage electricity.
That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high voltage cables everywhere.
High voltage cables?
Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high voltage cables run overhead around the roof.
Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. So what was it you were talking about?
You know, maybe we should hang out again sometime.
Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true. So you say you went back?
Yeah, that's when I found the body.
Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him?
Well, that's right, I was.
Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there?
I thought maybe we could make up. Achoo! Achoo!
Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh?
I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else you know that you were taking cold medicine?
Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it.
On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch?
Huh? What does that have to do with anything?
You can never be too sure.
I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Are they omelets or Lucky Charms? Ouch! Well, why'd you punch me in the jaw?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden.
I think that's enough for now. So, the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then, the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason.
I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle earlier.
Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. Well, what do you mean?
I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
However, there is one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor.
How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is... You're correct, Your Honor.
So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Establish murder method. Let's see. Maybe I can still do. Well, now to do this, I'm gonna save just in case. Because truthfully, I don't really know how I'm gonna be able to do it right now, but I feel like I have to do something. Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Faye?
I believe that if we were to piece everything together, everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
That would be most impressive.
Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence.
Of course I know that. Actually, I totally forgot about that.
Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. Well, obviously by the power cords here, I would think.
As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What? But there's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Faye, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon?
Really? Well, naturally, it's right here.
What is that?
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard. The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
So then, the high voltage cable...
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation.
Certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I believe some praise is in order.
Don't toy with me, old man.
Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, if you want to think about I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant!
Achoo!
Not so sure about that.
That much is certainly true.
Yes, and that's not all. We have proof! Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer.
You do? Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well.
You mean...
Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket.
Okay.
The palm print is the defendant's very own hand.
What?
can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left her print like that. Intent on murder. He squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable.
Order! 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 That's enough! I think we conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us, we're done.
Mr. Grossberg.
My hammer never lie. The show was over, Mia. I knew this boy was guilty the first time I saw him.
No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt.
Your Honor!
At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case.
Hold it!
Do you have something further to add, Miss Fay?
Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict.
But I can't! I just can't say it!
If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me.
Miss Fay? Ooh, he looks serious all of a sudden.
No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you, and I'll represent you to the very end.
We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything.
Well, wait a minute!
Mr. Wright.
I'll tell you what really happened.
But I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need for further...
I did it.
I admit it! I pushed him! It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow is dead. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying!
Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl.
Stop it! Don't talk about her like that!
Why is he nervous about?
What you just said. Was that the truth?
Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth,
everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. But please give me one more chance to explain.
This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Fay? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim.
I feel like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake.
Witness testimony when I pushed the victim.
That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just laying there, dead.
Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that.
A simple explanation indeed.
At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Left from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted.
But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it.
That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that.
Miss Fay, let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that?
Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. So, what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you?
He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl. Is that all? Yep! Well, Miss Fay, you heard him yourself.
Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is.
Anyway, after he said that, I lost my temper and gave him a shove.
Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail?
That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest.
And when you did that, there was no severed cable anywhere to be seen.
Right! There was nothing like that at all!
But is it possible that you merely overlooked it?
Well, I guess it's possible.
What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt.
I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony, witness.
Loud noise? And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright?
I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap! You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was.
Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted.
Objection!
You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important, so try to remember what it was.
How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Aha! Could it have been...
Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us!
When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kind of like it's the owner. Okay, enough of that, Phoenix. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss Fay, what do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now?
Well...
Alright, time to do the usual and bluff my way through this.
This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for.
Of course it's important! No, this cheap umbrella is more than important, it's vital! I want to officially have it entered into the testimony.
Ha! How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer.
The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. After I shoved him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella.
Objection!
Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning?
Come on, if I had mentioned that...
I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole.
You're absolutely right.
The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive.
No!
Horror! 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 The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now?
Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene.
I want to present as evidence immediately.
Umbrella owned by the victim, found broken near an electrical pole at the crime scene.
But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. Objection!
According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind.
But
I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment.
No!
I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony.
Phoenix's testimony, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened.
Well done, Mia. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about?
Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone.
I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying.
Let me guess. You have another witness.
Exactly. And this witness testimony will be incontrovertible.
Well, who is this witness?
Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly?
I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
What?
I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear.
Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this.
You can't be serious!
Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Okay, and as much as I hate to do it, I think... Well, let me read this. April 11th, 11:52 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Okay, and this is where I am going to have to stop for the night. So, we'll finish this trial tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed tonight's stream, and well, I just said I'll be back tomorrow to continue playing Trials and Tribulations. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's stream, and as always, you can follow my YouTube channel link below to see my past streams, and you can also follow my Twitter link below to be notified when I go live. And if you'll stick around, we'll be dropping a host. Let's see who's on tonight. Let's see. Okay, tonight we're going to host Deathblade, who is playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I hope you'll stick around for that. And again, I will be back tomorrow night. So I hope you have a great night and take care, everyone. Bye.